It started with a famine. Hunger can make you do desperate things. It forced a man named Elimelech and his wife, Naomi, to leave the frantic streets of Bethlehem and move to a foreign land called Moab. They were looking for food. They were looking for a future. But in Moab, the shadows fell. First, Naomi's husband passed away. Then, 10 years later, her 2 sons died, too. Naomi was left with nothing but grief. She felt so empty that she told people, "Don't call me Naomi, which means pleasant. Call me Mara, which means bitter." She decided to go back home to Bethlehem, to die among her own people. She told her 2 daughters-in-law to stay in Moab, where they could find new husbands. One agreed and said a tearful goodbye. But the other, a young woman named Ruth, she wouldn't let go. Naomi tried to push her away, but Ruth looked her in the eye and made a promise that changed history. She said, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Ruth chose love over safety, and together they walked the dusty road back to Bethlehem. They arrived just as the barley harvest began, but they were poor widows with no money and no men to protect them. To survive, Ruth went to the fields. She walked behind the hired workers, picking up the stalks of grain they dropped. It was backbreaking, humble work. But the owner of the field, a wealthy man named Boaz, noticed her. Boaz asked, "Who is this?" When he heard she was the woman who had sacrificed everything for Naomi, his heart was moved. He protected her. He made sure she had food. Naomi realized that Boaz wasn't just a kind man, he was a kinsman redeemer. In those days, that meant a family member who could step in, marry the widow, and save the family line. Ruth took a bold step and asked Boaz to be that redeemer. And because Boaz was a man of honor, and because he had grown to love Ruth's character, he said yes. The emptiness of Naomi's life began to fill up. Ruth and Boaz were married, and soon the sound of crying in Naomi's house wasn't from grief, it was a baby. They named the baby Obed. Naomi held him, and the bitterness washed away. But this wasn't just a happy ending for them. That baby Obed grew up to be the grandfather of King David, and generations later, from that same family line, came Jesus. It's a reminder for us today. God can take the bitterest moments of our lives and turn them into a story of redemption. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.